Hi everybody, I'm Donnie Reed. Welcome to the Baker Airguns Quick Look. With the popularity of airgun slugs these days, there's no shortage of available options. So how do you choose among the myriad of offerings? Well, the first and foremost thing you should do is test these slugs in your gun to see which are the most accurate for you at your tune with your particular gun. Beyond that, you're going to want something with a very high level of consistency from slug to slug. You will also surely be interested in the terminal performance of the slug. Today's review is going to be on the Patriot Javelin Slugs in .22 caliber. I've tested 3 offerings, 3 different weights. They're all 0.218 inches, and we have a 34 grain, a 30 grain, and a 26 grain. Now, as I said, the most important thing in your selection process should be to test these slugs and see what's most accurate in your gun. That is why I will not be including any accuracy testing in today's video. It doesn't matter how these slugs performed for me in my gun with my tune. All that matters is how they perform in yours. Now, I will tell you that my test gun for this review was an FX Impact Compact M3 with the slug power kit and the superior heavy barrel installed. Now, when you're trying these slugs in your gun, I do highly recommend that even within the same brand of slug, you try different diameters and different weights. I have seen spectacular differences between a .216 and a .217 in the same brand at the same weight. You really have to try these out and as many options as you can to find what works best for you. Now, as with anything that is mass produced, there's going to be variation within the product, within the slugs themselves. To test for this variation within the Javelin slugs, I took a 20 slug sample from each weight of slug and measured them both for diameter to an accuracy of 5/10,000ths of an inch, and that is plus or minus. There's a little bit of margin of error in there. And I weighed them to an accuracy of 2/100ths of a grain. Again, plus or minus a bit for, inconsistency in the measurements. In short, the Javelin slugs are incredibly consistent. I'll have a look at these charts I've made, and what you'll find is with the 34 grain slug, measuring for diameter, we're talking about diameter right now, with the 34 grain slug, there was an extreme spread of 1/1000th of an inch. The standard deviation was 29/10,000ths of an inch, and the average was 0.2177 inches. You can round that right to 0.218 as advertised. The 30 grain slugs had an extreme spread of 15/1000ths, a standard deviation of 38/10,000ths, and the average was actually exactly 0.2180 inches. The 26 grain, we have an extreme spread of 20/1000ths, a standard deviation of 69/10,000ths, and an average of 0.2183 inches. You can see that that is very, very consistent. So far as the weights are concerned, the 34 grain slugs, I found an extreme spread of 0.26 grain, a little over a quarter of a grain, standard deviation of 0.065 grains, and an average of 33.98 grains. With the 30 grain slug, we had an extreme spread of 0.12 grains, standard deviation of 0.40 grains, and an average at exactly 30 grains. The 26 grain slug, 0.18 grain extreme spread, 0.047 grain standard deviation, and an average of 26.01 grains. So is that consistent? Yeah, that is ridiculously consistent. Well done, Javelin. So now, terminal performance testing. And what I did was shoot a 3-slug sample of each weight of slug into a calibrated block of clear ballistics gel. I shot this gel at a distance of 20 yards. Now, I did naturally get you some slow motion footage of this testing. Please excuse how cloudy the block is. I've melted and reused this block of gel multiple times, and even though it's cloudy, it's still good for our purposes. So have a look at this video, and I'll be right back. So what was the end result? Well, the 34 grain penetrated an average of 4 5/8 inches and expanded to an average of 0.40 inches, 40 caliber. The 30 grain penetrated an average of 4.5 inches and again expanded to an average of 40 caliber. The 26 grain penetrated an average of 4 inches and expanded to an average of 0.41 inches or 41 caliber. So as you can see, you can expect some good expansion from the Javelin Slugs, at least at this higher energy level at which I'm testing. Now, what you shouldn't expect is that they would expand this much in an animal. When you shoot an animal, you're going to have fur, skin, bone, sinew, things like that. It's not as ideal of a medium for the expansion. Now, with that, you should also probably expect a little deeper penetration in an animal. Now, I would probably say you shouldn't expect very deep penetration. I'd say these are shallow penetrating projectiles. However, with the reduction in expansion, you can expect an increase in penetration. So I would say that these Javelin slugs would be extremely deadly to a smaller animal. So are the Patriot slugs consistent? Yes, very much so. On par or better with just about any other projectile I have ever tested. Are they deadly? Again, yes. I'd probably stick to a smaller animal, rabbits, squirrels, birds. I don't know if I'd suggest taking a body shot on a raccoon or a groundhog with these. If you get the good expansion, you're going to get very shallow penetration. You might not get it into where it needs to be. Now, are they the right projectile for you? Well, that's going to depend on if they shoot well out of your gun. Some guns like some slugs, some guns like other slugs. You just have to test them. Don't worry about how accurately they shoot in my gun or your buddy's gun. Get a bunch of different kinds, test them in your gun, and see if they work well for you. If you like this video, please click the subscribe button, leave a comment, click the like. We do have all 3 weights of these slugs in stock now at Baker Airguns. And I thank you for watching. You guys stay tuned, stay safe, and happy shooting.
Hi, I'm Dennis Baker with Baker Airguns. Thanks for stopping by. Click the link below.